Oleksiy Stororuk was separated from his family while crossing the Polish-Ukrainian border in February 2022, while his wife, Alla, and their two children, 16-year-old Mykola and 8-year-old Yesenia, flew to Australia. Mr. Stororuk remained in Ukraine to serve as a captain in its army. Mr. Stororuk was finally reunited with his family for the first time in almost 2 years last Wednesday in emotional scenes. The family burst into tears as Mr. Stororuk embraced his wife and two children at Sydney Airport. Ukrainian soldier Alex Stororuk reunited with his family at Sydney Airport after nearly 2 years. The family was separated at the Polish-Ukrainian border in February 2022. Mr. Stororuk has since served as a captain in the Ukrainian army. Alla Stororuk moved to Sydney with her and Mr. Stororuk's children in March 2022. Their joy is short-lived as Mr. Stororuk will return to the war zone next week. Mrs. Stororuk emphasized how even the trip to Australia changed their lives, and talked about how the quarrels took a toll on her husband. "My husband is losing sleep and has constant nightmares," she told Daily Mail Australia. In our interviews, Alex said that he stopped in Poland on his way to Australia. New Year found him there. Polish people traditionally celebrated. The use of fireworks and the loud noise startled him. Mr. Stororuk described the invasion as an all-consuming event. "The main problem that I and my relatives and friends face is the constant pressure of war," he said. This is expressed by constant rocket attacks accompanied by air raid warnings, uncertainty the end of the war, and constant reports dead friends and acquaintances. Mrs. Stororuk described the toll the war had taken on her husband and said she was spooked by New Year's fireworks while traveling to Australia. Ms. Stororuk described February 25, 2022 as the worst day of my life. Mrs. Stororuk said her husband had lost sleep and had constant nightmares since fighting in the war. Mr. Stororuk said it was difficult to find time and money to visit his family. "The only reason I've been coming to Australia for 2 weeks is to see my family, whom I haven't seen in nearly 2 years," he said. "Flight is expensive, especially when it comes to military revenue. My visit to Australia would have been impossible if my family had not helped me buy tickets. But they help me buy plane tickets, which means they want to see me as much as I want them." The emotional father added that he was grateful that his family was able to cope with the separation. "Military service takes 110% of your time, energy, and emotions. Not all families can cope with such trials. Thank God our family was able to carry the love through these dark times." Ms. Stororuk has been working to provide a normal life for her children since fleeing to Sydney. Mr. Stororuk will return to Ukraine next week to continue fighting in the war against Russia. Ms. Stororuk has previously described February